I just want you guys to understand, like, fundamentally, all right? Socialism is a battle for control against people like that as much as it is a battle for control against, like, Trump or the other Western fascists, okay? The difference is in countries like Russia and China, they already lost. The fascists won. The fascists won with Stalin back in the Soviet Union and again with Putin in the Russian Federation. And they lost a long time ago with Mao in China and have continued to lose nonstop, nothing but losing. They lost these battles. What we have here in the West is precious. The ability to freely speak our mind without being blackbagged by the government. This is a privilege and a right that Karl Marx had to move several times to protect. Karl Marx, the father of most modern socialist movements, had to move because he was the subject of scrutiny from many intelligence agencies in the countries that he occupied. And my man didn't want to get blackbagged, which they definitely would have done to him. But he managed to live and he managed to write. And that freedom that he was given, the freedom that he took for himself, that allowed him to write, is the reason we have these movements today. And when so-called socialists just fucking break down, just fall to their knees to suck the cocks of authoritarian countries, just bowl over all their monstrous human rights abuses, all their civil rights violations, the fact that they have no freedom of speech, they're doing a disservice to Karl Marx and his legacy. What we have here is a precious glittering jewel in the dark. Western democracy, bourgeois democracy, sucks, but it's also the best platform we've ever had. And we cannot allow it to be ceded to those people, to cynics and fascists who don't actually believe in a better world. These people are at best cynical and at worst fascists who lie. They wear a wolf's cloak, a sheep's cloak and a wolf underneath to deceive you. Just always be careful about them. And always, 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 always make sure just because a person agrees with you on something does not mean that you're allies. Why they agree is critical. A Nazi will tell you they think the media is corrupt and run by elites, but if you ask them to explain why, you'll quickly find out why you two aren't allies. Likewise with these guys. They don't have an issue with the Patriot Act because they have an issue with government control or surveillance. They have an issue with America. They have an issue with America because America is the geopolitic, it's a global enemy of nations like Russia and China. So just always make sure. When a person says, hey, American police shoot too many people, that's true. But then dig a little deeper. Why are they saying that? Do they actually have a problem with police shooting people? No. What they actually care about is American police shooting people. Always know why it's happening. It's important, okay? You have to know why. I think a lot of this could also be understood in the context of Hasan's ideological degradation from decent sockdem to occasional socialist to sometimes a socialist in American domestic issues, but absolute simpering fucking weakling when it comes to anything associated with non-American, like non-Western countries. You have to understand the deeps. You have to understand the underlying groundwork, in my opinion. Why are people in YouTube chat saying he just said? Talked about me? Hasan said you were right and doing good work. Hasan just gave Vaush props right now. About what? That would be very funny timing. Probably Palestine. Yeah, a cool, breezy reminder that it would have been nice if Hasan could have showed the same gung-ho support for the Ukrainian people that he's currently showing for the Palestinian people. Really makes me wonder if he would hold the exact same positions were it not for the fact that Israel is a U.S. ally. Don't ruin the alliance. There is no fucking alliance. Why should I? It's fascism. Why? Listen, okay? I'm just not as permissive of this as I used to be. Hasan has been very vocal for Palestine for years, Vaush. Yeah, I'm aware of that fact. And it just makes me wonder how he would feel if it wasn't for the fact that Israel is a U.S. ally. So here's a good example, okay? Iraq, Iran, and Turkey all ruthlessly oppress their local Kurdish populations. But Hasan is friends with Hakim, a pan-Arabist and a fervent racist against Kurds. There have been multiple genocides against Kurdish people. Like Hakim was doing Saddam Hussein genocide denialism against the Kurdish people. Saddam Hussein used gas weapons against Kurdish neighborhoods and killed tens of thousands of them. And Hakim was denying it and then saying, oh, well, what if they did it themselves? So here's the question, right? Why the double standard? How can Hasan be a friend to somebody like that, get along with somebody like that, but then he supports the Palestinian people? Why? Ideological inconsistency. Ideological inconsistency. At Vaush blaming people for their friend Shu. If Shu was like a genocide denier, which I haven't talked to her in a while, maybe she is now, and I like did content with her and had her on, and she like expressly talked about it and like would talk about it with me as well, like I feel like that would be a pretty fair thing to criticize me on. It's not a matter of like whether or not Hasan is like privately friends with Hakeem. It's more a matter of like he went on the deprogram pod and recommends it. You know, like, do we not see how there's a difference there? Also, I called out Shu. I call out when I'm friends with people and I disagree with them. I call. How many times did I call out Shu? Fuck off. Okay, holy shit. If Shu said something I disagreed with, how many times did that come up? Come on. Well, when has Hasan done the same? But do you condemn Shu? Yes.